That in a few minutes now we are going to begin this sixth international conference on sustainability education. So I would like to request you kindly take your respective seats, and the delegates and the dignitaries who are still outside the auditorium, you can hear my voice. Please come in, be seated. In a few minutes now we are going to initiate today's program. I would like to request you all, please keep your mobile phones on silent mode so that we all can be together in this moment where we are together for the sustainability. So I would like to request you, please keep your mobile phones on silent mode. In a few minutes now, we are going to initiate today's program. Thank you so much.
यांत्रिकरण कृपया ध्यान दें। आबादी संख्या 140 करोड़ जम्मू कश्मीर के रास्ते कन्याकुमारी पश्चिम से होकर पूर्व को जाने वाली अपने निर्धारित समय से आगे चलते हुए भारत ने चीन को पीछे छोड़ दिया है।
सर मेरे साथ इंसाफ कर दो, हेलमेट नहीं पहना है, गलती माफ कर दो।
भाई मेरे बढ़ती आबादी को कह दो नो, हेलमेट नहीं पहना पर कंडोम तो पहनो।
इशारे धरती पुकारे थम थम थम, यहाँ बढ़ती आबादी जैसे है प्यारे बम बम बम। धरती माँ को दो आराम, आबादी पर लगाओ विराम।
मोबियस फाउंडेशन लंबे समय से लोगों को फैमिली प्लानिंग के बारे में बता रहा है। उनकी काउंसलिंग के जरिए कॉन्ट्रासेप्शन, स्टरलाइजेशन और फैमिली प्लानिंग के मेथड्स के बारे में अवेयर कर रहा है। हमने उनके सीईओ डॉक्टर राम से बात की और जाना कि इस काम को करने में उन्हें कौन सी कठिनाइयों का सामना करना पड़ता है।
पुरुष नस्बंदी पर पखवाड़ा, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने ये सोचा कि कल्चरली और पॉलिसी भी उसी तरह की है कि ज़्यादातर महिलाओं का ही जो गर्भ निरोधक उपाय है या कंट्रासेप्टिव्स है वो सारी उस तरफ की जा रही है, पुरुष कम है। तो इसलिए एक फोर्टनाइट जिसे एक हफ्ते के लिए और बढ़ाया गया।
Hello. Once again, a very good morning to all of you. I would like to request you, please take your respective seats. It's the time to initiate this program now. So I'll request you, the delegates who are just over here, please take your respective seat. We are just gonna initiate this show. Thank you so much. A very good morning to all of you. And in this wonderful morning, you all have joined us in this wonderful program. So I request all of you, let's have a round of applause for yourself. Please, let's have it. It's such an energizing thing, no? So once again, I welcome all of you. On behalf of Mobius Foundation, I extend my heartiest welcome to all of you in this 6th International Conference on Sustainability Education. My name is Shilpa Bhavna, and I am going to be the string between you and those, I would say, very enlightening sessions which are going to take place on this platform, not just today, but tomorrow also. Friends, when we talk about the sustainability, so our scriptures guide us, right? And what our scriptures are guiding us, we are going to talk about that. But before that, let me please invite the dignitaries on the dais so that we can initiate formally with the show. So with your round of applause, please welcome on the stage the guest of honor, Mr. Tim Curtis, Director, UNESCO Regional Office, New Delhi. I request you, sir, please come on the stage. I also request our special guest to please come on the stage, Professor Shambhunath Singh, Vice Chancellor, Central University, Tejpur, India. Please put your hands together for him. Mr. Karthik Sarabhai, Founder Director, CEE. I invite you also, sir, on the stage with your round of applause, my dear friends. I also request Mr. Pradeep Burman, Chairman, Mobius Foundation, to please join us on the stage. Also, I request Mr. Pravin Gar, President, Mobius Foundation, to please join us on the stage. Please have your round of claps for the welcome. I also invite Dr. Ram Bhuj, Advisor, Mobius Foundation, to please be here on the stage with us. So let's welcome him as well with your round of claps. So friends, as we were talking about the sustainability, you know, when we say sustainability, the word sustain is itself over there. So that says that as we are taking care of the environment, only then environment is going to take care of us. So whenever we do any good work, any good deed, before that we always bow down towards that supreme power. So I would like to request the dignitaries, please extend your nobility gesture towards this lamp lightning. So I request you, all of you, to please extend your hands towards this nobility of lamp lightning. May we please have a round of claps for this beautiful and noble cause. Astoma sadgamaya, tamsoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityurma, Amritam Gamaya. We pray to the Almighty to take us on the right path and to take us from darkness to the light and from enlightenment to the bliss. Shubham karoti kalyanam, arogyam dhan sampada, Shatru buddhi vinashai, dvipam jyoti namostute. We all pray to that supreme power, that the cause which is being taken up by Mobius Foundation, that this supreme power gives us that much of strength to take it further year after year, year after year. Thank you so much. Let's have a round of applause, my dear friends. This is such a noble beginning. Friends, sustainability is always, has been the thing which is not only being taken care by the people, but also it is being taken care by our scriptures, because it's always being said that the knowledge, whatever we imbibe, comes from those scriptures first. So what are scriptures guide us about sustainability? It says, Prithvi Santaran Santu Nah Punya Punyen Vatah Punyen Adhyusht Punya Prithvi Punyen Santu Nah. We pray to the Supreme Power, may the earth be protected by our good deeds, and may our good deeds be protected by the pure water. May the pure water be protected by our good deeds, and may our good deeds be protected by the pure earth. So that means it's a circle. As we were talking about, we are taking care of it, and then it is also going to take care of us. So my dear friends, on this pure note, I think we should just move further, and in this we are going to have the children who are going to present a musical start for this 6th ICSE. The children, as we all know, are the best angel medium to connect the soul of like every being. Thus we have with us the students from GAV school who are going to give this musical start to the 6th International Conference on Sustainability Education. May we please have the children over here for the welcome song. The children from GAV school. So my dear friends, as the children are taking their sweet little time, we are going to have our next thing for you, which we want to showcase to all of you. That is the look back video of ICSE. You know, in the face of pressing global sustainability challenges such as climate change, biodiversity loss, and environmental degradation, there is an urgent need to transform our education systems. That is what we all will agree. And why? To foster stewardship and commitment to saving the planet Earth from these crises. So we at Mobius Foundation firmly believe that education plays a pivotal role in shaping the mindset and behaviors of current and future generations. So we have to make it a crucial lever for building a sustainable future. Thus, ICSE is not just teaching about the environment, but it's also nurturing a generation that lives and breathes sustainability. So that is why we have got a look back video of like our 5 years journey that we have done in the past 5 years. I hope you all are going to connect with that. So my dear friends, presenting before you the look back video of ICSE. Let's have it on the screen. So much has been done in the past 5 years, and this is the sixth International Conference on Sustainability Education. So, as you were also watching this video, I think you all will agree with me that yes, a lot of initiatives have taken place. Yes, a lot of collaborations were done, but there was a one single string that was common amongst everything, and that was the young children, because those are the youth energy that we want to tap in. Because as I was talking about that Mobius Foundation, what we believe in, like to catch them young, and once the children are caught young and we have ingrained those sustainability feeling into them, and not just about training them but also to let them breathe into that air of sustainability, I hope then we can give our bit into this society so that future can be saved for this generation. So my dear friends, as I was talking about these sweet little children from GAV school, they are all here, and we can see that all their musical instruments are here on the stage with us. So they have told me that, ma'am, we were about to go on this stage, but we could not get so much of claps that we wanted. So are we going to give them the enough clap to invite them on the stage? So I request all the children who are here for the performance, these children from GAV school, please come on the stage. The audience is all set and ready to hear your musical, your melodious sound, and of course, which is going to speak about the sustainability education itself. So my dear friends, let's have a huge, huge, huge round of applause for the children. Wow, such sweetness on the stage. So your clap should not stop, my dear friends. This is the innocence that we always talk about. And this innocence only gives us the power to try something big, to do something more, not just for the society, but also for the humanity. So, our children are here, and if we are all set, may we start? Let's have a round of applause for them, please.
बच्चों ये ले लो, जो भी
हेलो 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 रेंज बढ़ाना हेलो 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 थोड़ी सा और हेलो 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 हेलो
की
So what a beautiful combination that it's not just drizzling outside, but it's drizzling inside as well. So let's have a round of applause for the children. And now, my dear friends, to have this formal start of the 6th ICSE, please join me in welcoming the dignitary who is an environment and sustainability professional with rich experience of over 40 years in diverse fields with the government, university system, civil society, and the United Nations. Please welcome Advisor Mobius Foundation, Dr. Ram Bouge, for the welcome address and introductory remarks. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you so much. Very good morning and warm welcome to all of you for this 6th edition of International Conference on Sustainability Education. You just saw the video, look back 5 years. It's really, for many of us who have been through this journey, very nostalgic. We started in 2019 and continued this journey unstoppable. Like education, that was a slogan, education never stops. So we thought to continue this movement with support of all of you. And today is the 6th version. So let me this opportunity to extend a very hearty welcome on behalf of Mobius Foundation, its chairman, Mr. Pradeep Burman, president, Mr. Pravin Gar, all the partners and supporters, to each one of you, to this 6th edition of ICSE. It's really a very proud moment to all of us, because this conference is happening at a very momentous moment. Last evening, we had organized a welcome dinner, and we had to shift it to a safer place because it was raining outside. Entire Europe is, part of Europe is flooded. Portugal is facing drought. Africa is facing drought. India, you know, certain parts, there are no rains, certain parts are flooded. So these are the crises, the planetary crisis that we are facing. So in this background, I'm very happy to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Tim Curtis, Director and Representative, UNESCO South Asia Regional Office, New Delhi, who has not only graciously joined the conference but has provided major support in co-organizing the ICSE. UNESCO has been all along very supportive of ICSE since its very inception in 2019. We heartily welcome UNESCO team, particularly Dr. Benno Bohr, longtime friend, who has curated a very interesting session on mobilizing green chemistry to beat plastic pollution. I think this is what is needed. Our theme is greening education for a sustainable future. So we will begin with this green chemistry. And plastic, as you know, it's a new coal and the last gasp of fossil fuel industry. And if you consider plastic as industry, it's 5th largest. So the problem is great. And we will discuss some solutions. UNESCO is also doing a session along with Jane Goodall Institute on blue education. In this theme, greening education, I think blue education is very interesting. And we welcome UNESCO Intergovernmental Panel on Commission on Oceanographic, IOC, International Oceanographic Commission. Their colleagues, Rakal Costa and Anna Vittoria, and Shweta Naik from Jane Goodall Institute, they will be doing this session. So let's welcome them heartily. We warmly welcome Professor Shambhunath Singh, Vice Chancellor of Central University, Tezpur, and accomplished academician, institution builder, and scholar. He has immensely contributed to the cause of education and communication. He will be speaking in the following session as well. We will be immensely benefited by your presence, Mr. Sir. Let's all extend a very warm welcome to Padma Shri Karthik Sarabhai. I think we could have not seen these long years, 5 years and this year without him. My first call was to him when we started thinking about ICSE, and all along he has been a great support. He is a world's leading environment educator, sustainability enthusiast, and a scholar, and has immensely contributed to the cause of environment education. And he is chairperson of Sabarmati Ashram and chairs the committee to write environment textbooks as per National Education Policy and National Curriculum Framework. He is educated in Cambridge and MIT, and since last 40 years, coming from such a background, he is working at the very grassroots at every level for promoting environment education. And let's all congratulate Karthik Bhai for this Center for Environment Education, which he founded, is turning 40 this year. So let's give him a big hand. Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan, architect of India's new national education policy and national curriculum framework both, could not join us due to ill health, but has sent a very beautiful message, which you will hear in a few moments. He has been the chairperson of ISRO and has been bestowed with all the 3 highest civilian honors of the country, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, and Padma Shri. And we are really grateful to him to send a beautiful message. Let us also welcome the most celebrated Karmaveers of India, those who have been working in the field, real heroes of sustainability. The waterman, Dr. Rajendra Singh, Chairman of World Commission on Drought and Flood, and Magsaysay Award winner, Padma Shri Jadhav Payeng, the forest man of India, who over the course of several decades created a sandbar on the bank of Brahmaputra into a reserve forest where elephants, tigers, deer, and whole lot of biodiversity thrives. So let's all give these 2 Karmaveers big hand. We are happy to welcome some of the great minds of India. Dr. T. Ramasamy, former Secretary, Ministry of Science, Technology, Government of India, an influential leader in science policy and a strong advocate of use of science, technology, and innovation for sustainable development. He is recipient of Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan, 2 of the highest civilian honors. We also welcome Dr. Harsh Gupta, former Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Mr. Ashok Lavasa, Mr. Hem Pandey, former Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. And we also welcome Shri Kiran Karnik, Padma Shri, and a noted author and columnist. He held very key roles at ISRO, NASCOM, and Discovery Network, and was a member of the Scientific Advisory Committee of the Prime Minister of India. He will be chairing the EdTech session later. Professor Somak Rao Chaudhary, Vice Chancellor, Ashoka University, a distinguished scholar, educated both at Oxford and Cambridge, has contributed to the deep study of galaxy superclusters and exotic stars like black holes. He will be chairing this session, the Vice Chancellor's Roundtable, just after this. Who can be better than him to tell us about planetary crisis of today? Let's also welcome other honorable Vice Chancellors. Professor Shambhunath Singh will be part of that roundtable as well. Professor Raghuvir Singh, Vice Chancellor K.R. Mangalam University. Professor Prithvi Yadav, Vice Chancellor Sir Padam Singh Sanghania University. Professor P.K. Biswas, Jagran Lake City University, Vice Chancellor. Dr. Nidhi Nag Bhatla, representing United Nations University. And other luminaries include our very own Dr. Iraj Bharucha, who is also a familiar face since 2019. Dr. Rajiv Ahuja, Director IIT Ropar. He was also Director of IIT Guwahati. Professor Madhusudan Kar, Director AIMS. He has been Director of, I think, 3 or 4 AIMS. It's countless. Great medical administrator. Professor Ashutosh Tiwari, and many others who are with us. So I think it's a great stars of sustainability that we have today. And if you can see the program details, you will find all these which will be just in the souvenir, which is going to be released just now. I think I'm going to stop it here and will leave this to the very capable hands of luminaries, all these luminaries, to lead this ICSE from today for 2 days. It's a very tight session. I was thinking that all sessions should be in the plenary mode. We all decided that, but later we thought that we must listen to many, many more people, almost 120 plus speakers, panelists, and dignitaries. So we were forced to do one parallel session, which is basically a sustainability samvad, a dialogue, a conversation with these luminaries. So very exciting things are going to come up in the next few sessions. So stay with us, and thank you very much for each one of you for joining us. And once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And friends, as sir has already shared the theme of the 6th International Conference on Sustainability Education, greening education for a sustainable future. So when we speak about the future, you know, we all want to create history when we are talking about the future, because we are not just facing towards the sunrise, but in our culture, we are also being taught to bow to the setting sun. So in that ways, when we look towards the future, we need to understand that we know our history really well, because when we know our history, then we can create history. And together, all of us, yes, of course, with the help of this platform ICSE, we are going to create history in the field of sustainability. And that is not just going to help us, but it is going to help every person coming on to the next generation. And we are so much delighted that the people, the dignitaries who are acting on the same and the parallel lines are today here in this session with us and in this conference with us. So one of them, I would like to invite him over here on the stage. My dear friends, with your round of applause, please welcome Vice Chancellor, Central University, Tejpur, India, Professor Shambhunath Singh, for the keynote address. Please put your hands together for him.
Very good morning to all of you, dignitaries on the dais and very valuable participants present here in this hall. It's my pleasure and privilege to be here in this very important conference. Theme of the conference, of course, is really very important and very valuable. We will discuss here on the theme Sustainability Education in 2 days, today and tomorrow. It is well understood that learning and education are two pivotal prerequisites of achieving sustainability. By learning, I refer to research. Society must continuously learn and educate in order to stay on the sustainable path. Let me take you back to mid-20th century. We celebrated DDT, one very popular, versatile pesticide. An Austrian chemist, Jedler, synthesized this DTC in 1874, and many years later, a Swiss chemist, Dr. Muller, discovered its insecticidal properties in 1937. Muller received 1948 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for his understanding of the pesticidal properties of DDT. However, with time, the society learned that DDT was such a noxious chemical which was persistent in environment and which was extremely harmful for the living being, including humans. This learning led to banning of DDT. The society has done away with the use of DDT anymore. Similarly, the use of lead in our auto fuel has been phased out. We have to take note of these examples. While adopting DDT or lead in petrol, society moved away from the path of sustainability, but learned and returned to the sustainable path by phasing out DDT or lead. There are several such examples. The environment is a dynamic entity that has spatial and temporal characteristics, and therefore environmental changes are obvious vis-a-vis time and space. And so are environmental concerns. The environmental concern also come in phases. We came across devastation brought in by acid rain in the 1970s and 80s due to indiscriminate use of fossil fuel, which was followed by the treat caused by discovery of the ozone hole in 1985. The society learned the causes and consequences of acid rain and acted on it. We regulated air pollution and moved from higher sulfur fuel to low sulfur fuel and CNG. To tackle with the threat posed by the ozone hole, the world came together and signed the Montreal Protocol, and as an outcome, ozone depleting substances were phased out systematically. Today, the whole world in the grip of biggest challenge before human being, climate change, which is the biggest research question for the researcher and the biggest story of millennium for the journalist and policy maker. Climate change is a multifaceted problem and its manifestations are multidimensional. The rising global temperature is just one of the many issues associated with climate change. The rising temperature has cascading effect on other attributes on the climate and the environment as a whole. The increased incidence of extreme events are taking a heavy toll on our agricultural, leading to poverty and migration, which is also a threat to the food security. Devastation of extreme weather is now visible. Sudden flood in urban landscape and destruction in the human habitats in the Himalayas are some of the visible effects of extreme event right in front of our eyes. The sea level rise, changing chemistry of seawater, coral bleaching, etc., are now well documented outcome of the climate change. More so, climate change is also responsible for biodiversity loss and ecological degradation. All these changing attributes of the climate are the outcome of increasing level of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is the major player contributing to the warming of the Earth's atmosphere. Since 1750, CO2 level has increased from 278 ppm to 417 ppm, which is higher than at any time in human history. This has led to increase of the Earth's average temperature. It has been reported that since 1850, the average global temperature has increased 0.6 Celsius per decade. However, the rate of warming has been more than 3 times faster since 1982, at 0.20 Celsius per decade. Scientists predict that global temperatures will increase by about 1.5 Celsius by 2050 and 2 to 4 degrees Celsius by 2100. Since 1850, scientists estimated that human activity have generated a staggering 2.2 million tons of CO2. Besides CO2, methane and nitrous oxide are two other important greenhouse gases having significant contribution to the warming. In fact, methane and nitrous oxide are much stronger greenhouse gases compared to CO2. According to the IPCC, CO2 makes up 3/4, then 76% of the greenhouse gas emission generated by anthropogenic activities. If we see the sectoral emission of CO2, it follows the order: energy use in the industry, almost 24%, and farming and forest destruction, 18.4%, energy use in building, 17.5%, energy use in transport, 16%, and so on. Another important factor to maintain here is the rate of which forest cover has depleted. 4.2 million kilometer square forests were lost between 1990 and 2020. That is an area 17 times larger than the size of United Kingdom. This has an indirect contribution to the total carbon in the atmosphere. The current environmental challenges like climate change demands accelerated learning and education to enable tangible action for mitigation and to enhance resilience of communities through adaptation. 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, embraced by the United Nations member state in 2015, represents a collective vision for peace and prosperity for both humanities and planet for today and tomorrow. The 17th Sustainable Development Goal urge for a global cooperation with the SDG 4, especially advocating for inclusive, equitable, and high-quality education that foster lifelong learning opportunities for everyone. In light of the current challenges, it is crucial to integrate environmentally focused curricula in our schools and in higher education institutions. The tradition of environmental conservation in India is deeply rooted in its cultural and religious heritage, with ancient scriptures advocating for the preservation of natural resources and mindful utilization. The Kothari Commission report in 1966, Education for National Development, laid the foundation of informal environmental education. Later, the National Education Policy 1986 built on this by integrating environmental education at all school level. In 2003, NCERT introduces a model syllabus for environmental education, which was approved for national implementation by Supreme Court of India itself. That same year, the UGC created a core model syllabus mandating environmental studies at the undergraduate level, following a directive from the Supreme Court. The National Education Policy 2020 further strengthened this commitment by incorporating sustainable development goals into educational curricula. It emphasizes traditional knowledge and interdisciplinary learning as a potential solution for contemporary challenges. The NAP 2020 encourages the comprehensive multidisciplinary approach to education, fostering environmental awareness to nurture well-rounded, responsible global citizen. Here I would like to put forward the following before all present here, which I think may provide with a direction towards greening our education. These are like this multidisciplinary approach is a review, careful addition, and sustainability education and creating manpower for green job. Our universities and institute must design program and courses to address the market need in the green sector. Areas like renewable energy and biofuel, solar cells, waste management, recycling, climate adaptation technologies, environmental remediation technologies, energy auditing, green building and architecture, environmental financing, climate financing, etc., etc. Next is specialized centers. We may create a specialized center in our institutes by putting together existing resources and faculty to address the sustainability issue. The emphasized center can bring together all the solo researchers, which will create synergy and foster appreciation of the problem and finding a solution. Green Campus Initiative. Our academic institution must ensure green behavior. Our campuses must encourage earth-sustaining behavior and discourage earth degradation behaviors. Our academic campuses can be model for sustainable living, and therefore the institute must incorporate all possible initiatives to orient toward net zero. Before I end, I would like to say that India is seriously engaging with the issue of environment and sustainability. India has always been very serious with the environmental commitment. It has ratified all international conventions. Following a Stockholm summit in 1972, India has made provisions for environmental concern in the constitution-wise 42nd Amendment in 1976, and two important clauses were added in the Constitution, Article 48A and Article 51A. There are some of the examples we have here, but due to paucity of time, I can finish this thing. In our university, we have adopted 5 villages as outreach program and 5 schools, and we have, I think, 1/3 need of the energy from solar power and big water conservation in the institution. I thanks the organizer. They gave me the opportunity to discuss with you with some issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Friends, our next keynote speaker, about his all the formal positions, Dr. Rambhuj has already mentioned to you, but I can just say one thing about him, कि दिलों के राज कभी कभी खोलते हैं, दिलों के राज कभी कभी खोलते हैं, वो लोग रहते हैं खामोश अक्सर ज़माने में जिनके हुनर बोलते हैं. So my dear friends, presenting before you none other than Padma Shri Karthik Sarabhai. Please put your hands together for him.
A very good morning to everyone. I must start by congratulating Pradeep ji for his determination and passion to get environmental education awareness increased. I remember the very first conversation which we had long before ICSE, and today to see the 6th edition of this. I was telling Rambhuj ji that even through COVID, it didn't deter us. They did 2 ICSEs online, but the work continues and it will continue. And it's wonderful to see so many colleagues, friends, advisors here. Tim, Curtis and UNESCO has been the pillar globally in taking environmental education, bringing in the whole aspect of sustainability, relating it to development, taking issues of climate change, working now, as we were just talking, throughout the United Nations system, where it's become a movement which leaves no one out. As was mentioned, this is a particularly appropriate time to select this topic, greening education for a sustainable future. It is a time when the whole national education policy, which you are going to hear a message from Shri Kasturi Rangan, who led this report, is thinking of taking environmental education in India to the next level. As was mentioned by my previous speaker, environmental education from Kothari Commission days onwards has crept into the curriculum. It became more emphasis when our own institute was formed, to think that this was one of the few places in the world where a center of excellence devoted to environmental education was thought by the government of India to be something which was needed for the transformation which was going to happen. So you see this whole transition, but now what is happening is that with the curriculum area group on environmental education, and my colleague Iraj Bharucha is here in the audience, we meet every week to work on this thing, which is hopefully going to be introduced in 2026. As for the first time, there will be an environmental education textbook which will go to every child who passes the 10th standard. It's a remarkable dream for all of us, that you have an instrument through which you can reach every child. It is something which we really need to think on, and it was with that message that I wanted to talk about 5 aspects of the greening education which we are looking at. The first one is what I call environmental literacy. We asked ourselves the question, what would I like every citizen of this planet, let alone India, to know? Can we write down, is it important for them to know this, or is it not? Is it important for them to know that there is something called climate change? Of course it is. Is it important for them to know that this is caused by human action? Yes. Is it important to know that they make a difference? Yes. Is it also important to know that they can make a difference? And so on and so forth. We've been trying to list down that what is that minimum which, irrespective of whether you are a farmer, you are an engineer, you're the head of a corporation, you are the chief minister of a state. What is it that everyone needs to know? How do you define environmental literacy for this planet today? And that is something which we are doing. And that brings with us not only knowledge, but things like critical thinking, system thinking, seeing systems, how things relate to each other, the ability to problem solve. Again, some things which are deeply ingrained in UNESCO's complete thinking on this subject. The greening educational partnership, which also comes at the same time as this whole movement is happening. So environmental literacy, I call the first one. The second one I call is sustainability values. That you cannot just have science and critical thinking if the values don't exist. And the values have come, this sanskar which we have from our ancient wisdom, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, it is a way of looking at things. What is the relationship humans have with the planet? What is the relationship we have with other species on this planet? The government has done a lot towards inculcating these values. The Project Life is one of them which tries to relate this. It went on, and with Gandhiji's work, a lot of very fundamental values were discussed. These were part of our ancient culture. Internationally, the Earth Charter, and tomorrow morning we are having a dialogue with Miriam Villela of the Earth Charter. The Earth Charter has captured these values and captured a lot from India. So the second one I put is as values. The third aspect I put it as sustainable lifestyles. The lifestyle is something which is ingrained in us. It's a habit, it's a tradition, custom, our own parampara. We don't waste generally, not because we think of the science behind it. It is just so ingrained in us. We pay respect to food. We pay respect to the word, to education, and this becomes an ingrained part of us, not littering. And we would like these habits to become part of it. Not that every time you have to process something in your mind and say, what is it that I should do or not should do? It's just natural. It comes naturally. The fourth thing, was to take people towards sustainability action. It is no longer enough for people to say, I have got educated, but that I can also act. We call it the handprint, which is a word which has come out of an Indian school in Hyderabad. Handprint is, as opposed to the footprint, what we can actually do positively. And handprint is somewhere where we want to go. We would like every person, every child to have a positive action agenda. The fifth and the last one which I wanted to say was that it is very important today to bring in vocational skills and the greening requirements of the future. The job scene which you see now, so many jobs, as you can see every other day, are just completely disappearing. Things which used to take days to do, today someone presses a button and AI generates something. And it's only the first couple of years of AI where it's doing this. Just imagine how much of a change, even going through the airport, compared to a year ago when they would have to look at your IDs and something. Today, this machine looks at your face and says, if you're a DG Yatra, you can just walk through. We've just forgotten how difficult it was earlier. Just now, we still struggle with bags in the going through the security. Very soon that will go, and there will be some other ways doing it. The rapidity of change, the rapidity of losing jobs, but also creating new ones. And how does that work? So vocational education, very much in the national education policy, is part of the educational system. So these 5 aspects I just wanted to put before the conference: environmental literacy, sustainability values, sustainable lifestyles, sustainable actions and handprint, and finally environmental skills and vocation. So I think if we can look at the greening education for a sustainable future, and say that it's the combination of all of this. It's a combination of this which will take us into the future. I think we've got the group here which can really look at this with all our diverse experience and I think really make a contribution at a time, as I said, when these things are actually being written. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. Thanks a lot, sir. And now, my dear friends, for the special message, I would like to invite on our next dignitary. But before I invite him, I would like to share a little brief about him with you. Mr. Pravin Gar, he is a specialist in public policy in South Asian context with a focus on finance, law and environment. He is an Indian Administrative Service Officer, 1988, Madhya Pradesh cadre, and retired as the Special Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. I had been fortunate enough to conduct a few stages while his tenure as Special Secretary in the Ministry also. So my dear friends, President Mobius Foundation, Mr. Pravin Gar. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you for the introduction and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I know we are running behind schedule. I had a lot of things to talk about or the thoughts which I wanted to provoke with the esteemed dignitaries, speakers and the delegates. This is a successful succession, I would say, of the ICSE to see the 6th edition. You know, it's rare to have something to continue continuously and even during the COVID time. So I congratulate to all the organizers. Of course, I am organizer later on, not initially, to continue this. I'll not like to repeat many things, but we see the SDG goals and the goal 4, and I'll just read that. It talks about quality education, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education, and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Every word has a meaning, has a depth, and do we feel that this is happening in this country or not? Inclusive, whether our education is inclusive or there is a divide in the education system, equitable, quality education, and promote lifelong learning. As we grow older, whether the lifelong learning, continuing education is there or not. So this we have to keep in mind when we are designing, when we are looking at the education system. I'm talking of the presently of the Indian system, maybe the third world countries. Equity has to be there in the education. We can't have 2 or 3 systems of education. Even NEP 2020 has reiterated the same thing. Government of India is talking about Mission Life, lifestyle for environment, which says a mindful and intentional use of resources. Of course, there's a Buddhist concept of mindfulness. It also says now this, something similar to that, mindful use of the resources. You see, if I can do something in one line, writing on a piece of paper, I should not be writing the whole page just to say that I know beyond a point, I know too much. So this also advocates, and Government of India is advocating this. Now, advocacy is one part. Action and adaptation of that is a second part, which is very important. And recently I was looking at the Viksit Bharat 2047 Niti Aayog reports. That is 100 years of independence. We are going to be, 100 years from our independence. Of course, a lot of things have changed, a lot of values have changed. And the older generation, and I am also on the older generation side, we have seen the change in value systems, change in environment, change in population, so many things. It talks about a significant demographic shifts in our country. In 2024, we stand at 140 crores. Of course, recent census has not been done. 2021 census has not been done, so we don't have the figures. and we are saying that we'll have a census soon, and there is demand for some kind of minute or nuanced census. So we are 140 crores right now, with just 2.4% of the land of the earth. And in 2047, that is after, we are in 24, so after 23 years, we will be 165 crore people. Now this is a quantum jump. See the land and what is the population. So that kind of density of the population, we won't be having places unless we have new technologies, unless we start vertically going up. But see the roads, everything is going to be congested. You see the rainy season which happened in Delhi recently. Many of the roads were clogged because of the construction, urbanization. Our median age will increase from 29 years, which is presently now, to 37 years of age. So there's a shift. Life expectancy will climb from 71 years to 84 years. These changes reflect improvements in healthcare and living standards, but come with a huge problem, like aging, the density of the population, the strain on our limited resources, limited land resources, or whatever natural resources we have. If you see our GDP, which is currently, in terms of dollars, 3.4 trillion US dollars, is projected to be 30 trillion US dollars. What a quantum jump. We can take a pride, like, we are improving, our GDP is going up. We may be the second largest economy after US in 2047. Our per capita, which is very low right now, which is around 2,000 US dollars, slightly more than 2,000 US dollars, is going to be 18,000 US dollars per capita, and which is going to be 9 times of the present per capita income, which will unleash unimaginable consumption expenditure in this country. And I would say we need to think about measuring GDP in green terms. We should say your GDP, if it is increasing, then what is the percentage of GDP which is green in that? How much greening of the GDP is there? Or how much per capita income which is coming is green income? Recently I was pleasantly surprised. Of course, Australia can do with their population and with their systems, that the income tax payer, when he gets assessment order, all of us pay income tax and get the assessment order, there's a breakup that you are paid, suppose, 1,000 rupees. Hundreds were spent on infrastructure, 100 on education, 100 on healthcare. And all this is possible. You see, with AI coming in and with our technological skills, IT skills, we can do that. So the shift has to happen. We can't stop this growth, and it can't be a linear kind of a thinking. We have to think in green GDP, green per capita income. We should know how much we're spending. If I'm walking to this place, how much I've used what is my footprint? We have traveled, many of us have traveled from all over the world. Of course, we have to compensate for that. So this country in 2047, few of us may be 100-year-old or may not be here, but this is going to be a place where you won't be able to walk on the streets. So this will generate a lot of waste, a lot of consumption, disposal of the waste, how to dispose it off. In Delhi, we have this landfill problem. We have the landfilling sites which have not been cleared for a decade. They have been, it's simmering, and they're burning at the bottom. So these issues are going to be the major issues. So we have to give a thought to that. And for this, I will also add one more dimension to this, that a large portion of our population is still at the bottom of the pyramid. There was a famous management writer of Ross School of Management, US, C.K. Prahlad, he said at that time, you know, as Professor Shambhunaji was mentioning, DTT was very popular, then we banned it. So at that point of time, he said, in India, the fortune lies at the bottom of the pyramid. So there's a huge population which is going to rise up. They have aspirations. They're going to buy all kinds of things. So we have to see greening in every part of that. The products have to be greened. And we can measure it. It's not impossible. It is quite possible. With the AI coming in, a lot of things can be done. So that path we have to take. And so that we are able to have a, right approach toward development. We don't follow the path. Of course, the Western societies have a very low population compared to our population, but we can follow a different path. I would also make one point that top India's 1% population out of 140 crores holds 40% of the wealth of this country. So this is also a very serious issue. It's not only depressing, but it may aggravate the social conflicts in the society, which will again maybe a climate disaster, climate injustice to the poor man. Then our challenges could lead us to numerous disasters, as we are seeing. The recent studies the scientists have done, and many of you are the scientists, they've said there are 9 boundaries to keep Earth in the resilience, to make it the systems to sustain, to life to sustain. And unfortunately, 6 of these 9 planetary boundaries have breached. So we have to restore it back. One of the speakers was mentioning about the ozone layer. It was breached, but it has come back. So it is possible what is breached can be returned and come back to the normal. We are also seeing extreme events, and they become a new normal. We are not, every month we see some extreme events of climate disasters, which used to be rare, but now it is a new normal. I would insist that on this, we should have quality education, equitable education to everyone, sustainable practices, and manage our resources efficiently. There's one more thought which came to my mind. There's a paradox. You see, if you see the school, government school students having limited resources often lead more sustainable lifestyles. People are talking about, speakers are talking about our culture. Of course, its cultural value is there, but poverty is also there. So they are living sustainable lifestyles. And whereas you see private schools where they're more aware about climate change, because if you talk to any young man now or young boy, is much more aware about climate change and how to mitigate, how to adapt it. But if you see their lifestyles, their footprints are much larger. So in spite of awareness, the footprints are larger. So that's a paradox in this society which needs to be addressed. And I think that can be addressed by redistributing wealth, which is in the hands of 1%. Of course, there have been a lot of talk about it, little controversy about it, but people have been talking about inheritance tax should be imposed. Most of the countries have that. But 1% holding 40% of the wealth, then running the system, then having a larger footprint has to be addressed. Now, this is, and the curriculum has to be designed. Greening, as I mentioned in a number of places, greening of the curriculum has happened. It is no longer of course, things are evolving, so you have to input more and more, but it's only incremental increase. It's not a quantum jump. What is more required is the teaching part, how it goes to the students, how it becomes a sustainable practice for them, how they practice it, what they've learned, they practice that. That's more important. I'll also briefly mention about our 100 schools program, which we have taken up in UP and MP. We are going to take 50 schools on both the sides. These are the most backward areas, poorest students, only for the girl child. We are trying to inculcate green habits. We want to make them to learn much more. And the quality of, I was talking of equity in education, so quality of education. We have a partner, Lotus Petal Foundation, which is again a charitable trust. So we have a digital education. There's a center here, they teach them because the quality of teaching at times in government schools is not so good, not because of the salary structures, but because of different reasons. There's so many things in the rural India which are not present. A lot of things which happen and the quality is not so good there. So I would say that we have to change our lifestyles, sustainability, education, all things are required. And I will only conclude by saying and reiterate very strongly that all of us who are sitting here, we have a hope, we have a common hope that we will be on a sustainability path. We have a common dream also that will be greener place to live, and we have a common future. All of us have a common future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. You have rightly mentioned that we all have a common hope, and yes, where there is a hope, there is a light that yes, we can do something over there. So my dear friends, now it's the time for the next special message from Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan, Chairman, India's NEP 2020 and NCF. He is the former Chairman ISRO. Let me please share with you that he couldn't be here personally with us, but since we have with us the Director of Vikram Sarabhai Community Science Center, Ahmedabad, the gentleman who is also the Chairman of Board of Trustees of this prestigious institution, Shri Dilip Surkar. So I request you, sir, please come on the stage and do the honors of reading this special message from Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you for this opportunity. Title of his message is Greening of Education, a Pathway for a Sustainable Future. Good morning to all present at the International Conference on Sustainability Education, ICSE 2024. Firstly, I extend my heartiest congratulations to the Mobius Foundation for generating the much needed dialogue on sustainability education by bringing it to the center stage through the medium of ICSE since 2019. In the face of unprecedented global environmental challenges such as climate change, it is imperative that our education systems evolve to equip future generations with the knowledge, skills, and values necessary to address these pressing issues. At the same time, empower them to become responsible stewards of the planet. Greening the education is a crucial step towards a sustainable future. It encompasses a holistic approach that integrates sustainability principles across all levels of education, from early childhood to higher education. This approach aims to cultivate an environmentally conscious mindset, fostering a deep appreciation for the natural world and a commitment to sustainable living. The National Education Policy, NEP 2020, which I had the privilege to chair, provides a robust framework for integrating sustainability into the core of our educational ethos. By integrating environmental and sustainability education across in schooling, we can ensure that students develop a comprehensive understanding of the ecological, social, and economic dimensions of sustainability. STEM education is pivotal in driving innovation and developing solutions to sustainability challenges. By fostering critical thinking,
problem solving, and technical skills, STEM education empowers students to make informed decisions and take responsible actions for the environment. Incorporating STEM can enable students to explore the scientific principles underlying the environmental phenomena and develop technological solutions to mitigate environmental impacts. For instance, students can engage in projects that involve designing energy efficient systems, developing sustainable materials, or creating models for water conservation. These hands-on experiences not only enhance their understanding of scientific concepts, but also inspire them to pursue careers in fields that contribute to sustainability. The success of greening education hinges on preparedness of educators. This necessitates comprehensive teacher training programs that focus on environmental literacy, pedagogical strategies for sustainability, and the use of innovative teaching tools. Let us seize this opportunity to create an education system that not only imparts knowledge, but also instills a deep sense of environmental responsibility. As we move forward, it is imperative that we continue to prioritize and invest in green education to ensure a brighter, more sustainable future for all. With this note, I wish all the very best to the organizers and the participants for continuing this endeavor for creating awareness, dialogue, and action for a sustainable future that we all owe to our children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the blessings from Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan, and thank you, Dilip sir, for putting that for us. And now, my dear friends, it's the time for the address from our guest of honor. Let me please share with you that Dr. Tim Curtis is the Director and UNESCO representative for the UNESCO Regional Office in New Delhi, covering Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Maldives, and Sri Lanka. He has been working in the field of culture and sustainable development in diverse international contexts for over 25 years, and of which 20 years are with UNESCO. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Tim Curtis on the podium.
Thank you, distinguished guests, panelists, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, namaste. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be here today for this 6th International Conference on Sustainability Education. Personally, it's my first international conference to attend, but UNESCO has been hand in hand on these for the last 5 and looks forward and looks forward to continuing and thanks you for the invitation today. A lot has been said this morning, and it's going to be difficult to say things that have not already been said, because we've had a lot of information and very important issues. But we are all aware that the times we are living in are challenging, and the world is facing a triple planetary crisis: biodiversity loss, climate change, and pollution. These present the living fabric of our planet, and the rapid decline, for instance, in biodiversity threatens not only nature, but also us, human beings, our economies, and our societies. Moreover, as we heard before, those who are the most affected are often those who are already the most vulnerable. With this added threat, risking to make existing inequalities even worse, which can threaten global peace. With the world's population projected to grow from 7.7 billion to 9.7 billion by 2050, and the limited natural resources we have, we find ourselves in what the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres calls a battle for our lives. And to address these challenges, we need a paradigm shift on how we engage with the natural world. We need, as UNESCO Director General Audrey Azoulay has been saying, we need to make peace with nature. UNESCO has been advocating for this approach for a long time, for over 50 years now, for example, and particularly with the Man and the Biosphere program, which recognized at the beginning the relationship between human beings, their communities, and their natural environment as being at the heart of conservation efforts. We need now to replicate that on a global scale. We need to rethink our relationship with the planet. Next week in New York will be an important meeting, the Summit of the Future, which will be a recap of all the global leaders on the current situation of the Sustainable Development Goals, which we have heard for about now. And unfortunately, and this is unfortunate, not one of the Sustainable Development Goals is on target for 2030 at the moment. And so there is a need of acceleration. And the Sustainable Development Goals are interconnected, of course, whether it be in agriculture, whether it be the oceans, whether it be climate change, whether it be education. They are all interconnected, and not one can advance now without the others. So leaders of the world will be meeting to discuss this pact for the future, to accelerate the Sustainable Development Goals, and to see how to achieve them, at least catch up on them. India has an incredibly important role to play, because we know what is happening today in India will impact globally. The population being what it is, the importance, the rapid growth of the economy, which are all very encouraging, means that if India accelerates, the world accelerates the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. So coming to our question, and what we believe, and I think we've all heard today, at the heart of this is education. Education is key to this transformation, to this paradigm shift we need. And we heard earlier that about the Greening Education Partnership, which was launched at the United Nations Transforming Education Summit in September 22, and is a multi-stakeholder partnership seeking to provide countries and provide sector players with strong action plans to prepare every learner for a climate-ready future. And UNESCO is working as the secretariat of this partnership, which already has over 80 countries signed on, and we hope to accelerate that. The partnership focuses on 4 main areas. The first being greening schools, so that schools themselves become centers of sustainability, the physicality of the schools, that they are built with sustainable technology, that the children are living in a clean environment and a healthy environment. Greening curricula, so that we are not talking only about the environmental issues, but also preparing young people for the economic transition we need towards a green economy. And this involves education at all levels, including vocational and technical educations. Greening teachers in education systems, because as we heard from the last presenter, teachers are key to anything we want to achieve in education. Teachers are the frontline soldiers of education, and they need to be equipped, they need to be supported, and they need to be empowered to make those transformations happen. But also, it needs to be system-wide, and it's the education systems themselves that need to be transformed. And the fourth pillar of the Greening Education Partnership is greening communities, because schools do not exist in isolation of communities, and they actually have very important, let's say, social functions within communities. And children bring back ideas from schools, share them with families, examples that can also help to transform the communities. So I'd encourage you to have a look at 2 new resources UNESCO has just produced to support these goals. The first being the Greening Curriculum Guidance, which helps countries integrate environmental topics into their curricula and gives them guidelines, and the Green School Quality Standards, which is the first of its kind set of guidelines for creating greener schools and learning environments. Of course, these kinds of global guidelines are always done more generically and always need to be modulated and adapted to specific country contexts. And we are working, of course, with the Ministry of Education here, and last year we released the Seeds of Change, the 2023 State of Education report of India, focusing on climate change in education and how it is being implemented. The report was quite encouraging. India has really been at the forefront of environmental education, well before, let's say, the rest of the world. The report looked at it through these four pillars of the Greening Education Partnership and includes 10 actionable recommendations in the education sector in India to enhance the response. I think I'd just quickly flag that we worked with the Mobius Foundation also on this, and I'd like to thank them for that partnership. We're also focusing on empowering youth in this crucial fight. In collaboration with the Climate Act Initiative, we launched the Climate Leadership Program, a 6-month training program for young people across India. This initiative aims to equip them with the knowledge and skills needed to become leaders in climate action. And because as we look towards a greener future, it's crucial to invest in building capacities and equipping young people with the skills they need to drive the transition to a green economy. Of course, STEM education becomes critical in this, fostering technical innovations and supporting social enterprises that provide hands-on learning opportunities for youth and also for women. So even though I said earlier the SDGs are not on target, there is no doubt a growing awareness around the world among governments who are increasingly recognizing the need for sustainability education and taking some actions to address the crisis. And indeed, what is needed is a whole of society and whole of government approach that requires engaging communities, policymakers, educators, and businesses in a collective effort to create a culture of sustainability to reconcile, as we said, with the living world. And in this, it is imperative that we empower the generations to come as best we can with the right knowledge and values to ensure that they can live a sustainable future and revert the crisis. And this is really why sustainability education is a key foundation for addressing this triple planetary crisis we face. So I'd like to thank, in concluding, the Mobius Foundation for convening this very timely and important discussion and bringing us all together to exchange ideas. On behalf of UNESCO, I reaffirm our commitment to promote sustainability education and to take collective concerted actions with our stakeholders. And I'd also like to thank all of you who are here, and especially the youth, the young participants, for your engagement now and in the future is vital, as well as those of the teaching fraternity who, as I said earlier, are on the front line of this transformation we need to make. I wish to everyone success, to the authorities, to the schools, colleges, and universities in training responsible young people who understand that sustainability education is essential for the world we want to live in. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. मैं तो यूं ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल मगर लोग साथ आते गए कारवां बनता चला गया. This is what I can actually say about the chairman of Mobius Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know that he is an influential leader, he is also a sworn environmentalist and a crusader of sustainability. To pursue his dream of leading the world towards a more sustainable future, Mr. Berman founded Mobius Foundation in 2015 with the sole objective of promoting environment sustainability. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the chairman of Mobius Foundation, Shri Pradeep Berman.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed dignitaries, speakers, and delegates from all over the globe. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the 6th International Conference on Sustainability. To make sustainability education as underlying theme of all aspects of education. I'm delighted to see such a diverse gathering of thought leaders, educators, policymakers, and innovators all here with a common mission to make education a driving force for sustainability. We have distinguished speakers, experts, and dignitaries to share their insights and experiences. From research to best practices, these sessions will cover a wide range of topics at enriching our understanding of sustainability education. A special highlight is the Sustainability Samvad in conversation in conversation with leaders, offering a unique opportunity to engage with prominent thought leaders and gain valuable insights into how we can move towards a more sustainable future. At the Mobius Foundation, we are continuously making efforts to build a sustainable future through various initiatives. Can I have some water, please? Thank you. I'm reminded of the poem, "Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink." At Mobius Foundation, we are continuously making efforts to build a sustainable future through various initiatives. One such initiative is the Gyan Kanya Shakti, which recently completed its first year. Through this program, we have brought digital education to the rural areas of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, empowering young girls with the skills and knowledge needed to lead their communities towards sustainability. By integrating technology and education, we are helping to bridge the gap and create opportunities for these young girls. In Uttar Pradesh, we are working with 17 schools across 5 districts, while in Madhya Pradesh, we have partnered with 15 schools in 4 districts. We are making a difference in the lives of 2,000 girl students. Soon, we will be doing so with 100 schools. I'm also happy to announce that we have partnered with Warner Brothers Discovery Channel to telecast a special 10-episode series which will be aired in SAARC countries and later on will be dubbed into different languages in India. These series will highlight the critical environmental challenges such like climate change, biodiversity loss, ocean acidification, land use change, among others. Additionally, we will feature a special episode focused on population growth and how overpopulation has become one of the major causes for resource overexploitation. We have partnered with Population Foundation of India and Jannani to implement a population stabilization program called Project Akar across 8 districts of Uttar Pradesh. Through this initiative, we were able to reach and provide awareness and contraceptive measures to approximately 3.5 crore people. The program played a pivotal role in promoting family planning and reproductive health choices, empowering communities and contributing to the population stabilization in the region. We have the Mobius Foundation Climate Leaders for Himalayan Development Project, which empowers young graduates to tackle challenges in eco-sensitive areas in Nagaland. Through the young professional program, we focus on sustainability leadership, greening of schools with Pani Pahar, the water curriculum, and research designed by the Cambridge University. After a successful pilot in Nagaland, we will now expand this project across all over the northern eastern states this year. I encourage you to engage in meaningful discussions, explore new ideas, and collaborate across boundaries so that we can collectively drive impactful change. The conference is not just a forum for learning, but also an opportunity to inspire one another to turn knowledge into action and to work together towards sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And now, friends, I'm very honored to share with all of you that we have got a video message, an empowering video message from Honorable Minister of State, Education and Skilling, Government of India, Shri Jayant Chaudhary, sir. So I would like to present that video message in front of you. So may we please have that on the screen.
Namaskar, friends. I extend my congratulations to Mobius Foundation for organizing the very important vital conference on greening education for a sustainable future. As you know, it is India's youth power which will be at the cusp of change as a global society. India has already taken leadership on the critical issues of climate change, mitigation and adaptation, on renewable energy, on building a greener course for path towards 2047. I think the foundation for that is building those practices, building that awareness, that knowledge base, and integrating it into our education system. The NEP 2020 is a very progressive policy, and it is not only a policy, it lays down clear pathways and roadmaps towards the integration of awareness on the ecology, on a greener pathway, and providing that access to children at a foundational stage. A number of our government schools are already organizing a multitude of activities that are engaging with our young boys and girls, with their minds, with their thought processes, and putting them in an environment where they are thinking about themselves, their future, and the state of the planet in the future. They have formed eco-clubs. They are debating about green energy, about hydrogen mission, about all of these new technologies and concepts that are going to help us on our path. I think as Leonardo da Vinci said, that nature is the mother of knowledge. And so Mother Nature, which sustains us, which creates us, she will also inspire us. Let us create an environment together where the next generation, the future generation is a stakeholder, and they actively stewards our path towards a greener economy, a greener India. Thank you.
Really, you know, when we have such a backing of the thought process, then it actually gives us the strength to explore more horizons towards that subject. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a message from Honorable Minister of Education, Government of India, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan sir. So I would like to request Dr. Ram Booj to kindly read the message that Honorable Minister has sent for ICSE and Mobius Foundation. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you, Bhavna. This is the message from Honorable Minister
of Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan. I am happy to know that Mobius Foundation New Delhi is going to organize the 6th International Conference on Sustainability Education in partnership with UNESCO, UNEP, Center for Environmental Education, TERI, FEE, Population Foundation, and other reputed national and international organizations on the theme Greening Education for a Sustainable Future on 19th and 20th September in New Delhi. This conference presents an ideal platform for the academicians, researchers, and students to exchange ideas and experience on various facets of the theme for a nuanced understanding on the rapidly evolving global concerns on climate change and the ways to address the concerns by way of educating the students to nurture a sustainable future. I am sure the policymakers will immensely benefit from the deliberations and the outcome of the international conference and contribute towards engendering environmental awareness through education and sensitizing its multiple stakeholders to help build a sustainable future. I wish the 6th International Conference on Sustainability Education all success. Dharmendra Pradhan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for letting those blessings shower on us. Thanks a lot. And now, my dear friends, it's the time for the release of the souvenir. So I would like to request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly do the honors of releasing this souvenir. Yeah. Maybe please have one copy for all. This is a souvenir of 6th International Conference on Sustainability Education. My dear friends, let's have a round of applause. Such a moment, and we are capturing that in the golden frame of life. Our camera people are doing that job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dignitaries. And now, as we have the dignitaries over here on the stage, we would like to present them some mementos as a mark of remembrance of the 6th ICSE. So I would like to request Chairman Sir to kindly present the memento to Mr. Tim Curtis, our guest of honor. Here it is for you, sir. I would request Shri Pravin Gar to please present the memento to Professor Shambhunath Singh. It's a mark of gratefulness from our side to you. I request Dr. Ram Bhuj to please present the memento to Shri Sarabhai. Again, I request Dr. Ram Bhuj to please present the memento to the chairman, Shri Pradeep Burman. We are really thankful to you, sir, that you have taken up this cause of sustainability. Have a huge round of applause for Shri Pradeep Burman. I request Dr. Ram Bhuj to please present the memento to Shri Pravin Gar, the President of Mobius Foundation. And now I request Chairman Sir, Shri Pradeep Burman Sir, to please present the memento to Dr. Ram Bhuj. Why the hosts are left behind? Never. Thank you so much, sir. With this, we are towards that position when I am going to announce a little break, and quick after that networking tea break, we'll be reassembling here for our special plenary one. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, dignitaries, for joining us. Let's have a round of applause for all the dignitaries on the dais. And I request all of you to quickly grab your cup of tea and come back here strictly by 11:45, because we have got really, really interesting sessions lined up for you. Thank you so much. See you on the other side of the break. Thank you.
But I have